On June 26, 1995, a fatal car crash occurred on Interstate 64 in Patrick County, Virginia. A maroon Toyota Corolla ran off the road and collided with a tree. The driver, Michael Hodge, survived with severe injuries, but the passenger was killed. The victim had no identification on him, which immediately presented a mystery to the investigating officers. However, several clues were found on his person: a Grateful Dead t-shirt and 2 ticket stubs from a recent Grateful Dead concert in Washington, D.C. These items, along with his unknown status, led to him being officially labeled as Grateful Doe. The accident itself and the subsequent inability to identify the victim marked the beginning of a long and perplexing cold case. The victim was a young white male, estimated to be between 16 and 24 years old. He had brown hair and several distinctive features that were documented by law enforcement. Among these were a homemade tattoo of a star on his left arm and a pierced left ear. His remains were badly disfigured in the crash, making a visual identification impossible. Despite these unique markers, police were unable to find a match in any missing persons reports. Dental records and fingerprints were checked against various databases, but all efforts came up empty. The initial investigation stalled, and the case went cold, leaving an unknown young man without a name or a. For 2 decades, the case of the Grateful Doe remained a stubborn mystery. Law enforcement and forensic artists worked to create a facial reconstruction of the man's face, hoping that someone, somewhere, would recognize him. The image was circulated on television, in newspapers, and on early internet forums, but no definitive leads emerged. The driver of the car, Michael Hodge, was interviewed multiple times, but he could not provide any solid information about his passenger, leading investigators to speculate that the young man was a hitchhiker who had been picked up on the road. The lack of clear information from the only survivor made the case even more challenging to solve, and Grateful Doe's identity remained a puzzle. The case gained significant traction in the mid-2010s, thanks to the internet. Online communities, particularly on platforms like Reddit and Facebook, became intensely interested in the Grateful Doe case. Amateur sleuths, captivated by the mystery, began to actively work the case by sharing photos, discussing theories, and following every available lead. A subreddit dedicated to the Grateful Doe was created, and the case was featured on various true crime websites and forums. The digital reinvestigation breathed new life into the cold case, demonstrating the power of crowdsourced information and the collective desire to solve a long-standing mystery. A pivotal moment occurred in early 2015 when a post featuring the facial reconstruction of the Grateful Doe went viral. The post, which was widely shared across social media platforms, was seen by a woman who believed the image resembled her son, Jason Patrick Callahan. Callahan had run away from home in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, in 1995 to follow the Grateful Dead tour. His family had not reported him missing at the time, believing he had simply chosen to live on the road. Seeing the post prompted his family to officially file a missing persons report and contact authorities. The viral post was the catalyst that finally connected the long unidentified victim to a family that had been searching for answers for 20 years. Following the lead from Jason Callahan's family, law enforcement began the process of a DNA comparison. A DNA sample from Grateful Doe's remains was sent to a laboratory, and a sample from Jason's mother was also collected. The long wait for the results was filled with hope and trepidation for both the online community and the Callahan family. The use of advanced DNA technology, which was not widely available at the time of the original investigation, proved to be the key to unlocking the mystery. The ability to cross-reference DNA samples with family members finally provided a concrete, scientific link. On December 9, 2015, the Virginia Medical Examiner's Office officially announced a positive DNA match. The Grateful Doe had a name: Jason Patrick Callahan. He was 19 years old at the time of his death. The confirmation brought a sense of closure to his family, who had been living with the unknown circumstances of his disappearance for 2 decades. While the news was a source of relief, it was also a moment of immense sadness, as the family finally had an answer to their son's whereabouts, but it was a tragic one. The identification of Jason Callahan was a triumph for forensic science and a testament to the dedication of both law enforcement and the public. The resolution of the Greatful Doe case highlighted the critical role that online communities and social media can play in solving cold cases. The story is often cited as a prime example of how digital sleuths can work alongside official investigations to generate leads and bring attention to forgotten victims. The case also serves as a powerful reminder of the thousands of unidentified persons cases that still exist today. The passion of the online community dedicated to the Greatful Doe proved that even a decades-old mystery can be solved with a combination of technology, perseverance, and a viral image at the right time. The case also sheds light on the often painful reality for families of missing persons. For Jason Callahan's family, the initial belief that he had simply run away prevented them from reporting him missing. This underscores the need for a national system that can easily track and identify unidentified remains, even in cases where no missing persons report has been filed. The Greatful Doe case has inspired many other online groups and organizations to tackle similar cold cases, giving a voice to those who have none and a name to those who have been forgotten. The story is not just about a single victim, but about the collective effort to ensure that no one's identity is lost to history. The legacy of the Greatful Doe case is profound. It demonstrates how advancements in DNA technology, coupled with the power of the internet, can finally provide answers for families who have long endured uncertainty. The story of Jason Callahan is a poignant and powerful tale of a young man who left home seeking adventure, only to be found tragically decades later. His identification brought an end to a mystery that had captured the hearts of many, and it stands as a beacon of hope for other families still searching for their loved ones. The Greatful Doe is no longer an unidentified victim, but a person with a name, a family, and a story that will continue to inspire.